Intro this week in the car at the school car park. I've done all the rest of the editing of the video and realised that I'd forgotten to do the intro. This week is a post-Valley catch-up with the promoter himself, Paddy Browne, owner of Guerrilla Fight Club in Gawler. A long-time friend of mine. Ever since coming back to Australia over almost 11 years ago now, we hit it off straight away. We've been really good friends ever since. We do work together. He comes down and, we clinch it. Our gyms clinch together and, we support his show as much as we can. But yeah, we have a good chat, talk lots of things, talk about our own fighters, but also talk about, the way Muay Thai is and, even just things like nutrition and stuff. We go over a lot of cool subjects. Please do the like, subscribe, and all the usual stuff for my YouTube. As I said, it's growing and I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying doing all this. And either way, whether I end up making money from it or not, I'm still going to keep doing it. So, doing it for the love and doing it for the sport. So, yeah, hope everyone has enjoyed every episode so far. I think this is like 16 or 17 or something now. But yeah, thank you very much, guys. Please enjoy this one. It's just two mates having a chat about Muay Thai. Sorry, the voice ain't too good at the moment. But yeah, thank you very much. Okay.
Hello, Patrick.
Hello.
How you going?
Good, man. Good.
Good. Just coming a little bit closer. You might jump out of screen there.
There you go.
Snuggle up. So, how are we this morning?
Yeah, good, man.
Sweet.
Good.
Down to the city to return the scales and stuff. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Get the paperwork back to the Office of Sport and Rec and all that shit.
Yep. How you feeling after yesterday?
Good.
So yesterday we had Valley 4.
Yep.
Literally almost exactly 12 months after your first one. Mm-hmm. So been doing really good with that. Running smoother and smoother every time.
Yeah.
It's literally like just flows now.
Yep. Everyone kept saying to me after yesterday, "Oh, that was the best one."
Yeah, 100%.
And I was like, "Oh, cool. That's
100%.
Cool. Yeah.
And even I noticed like a few things like your matchmaking is getting better. Mm-hmm. Like you worked out who to match against who, instead of just like anyone fight anyone.
Yep.
So what's your obviously not, we'll talk about our own fighters and stuff, but your overview of the show and things that you liked and whatnot, what's your feels?
Obviously, because I'm fucking running around everywhere, I don't get heaps of opportunity to watch what goes on, but I do pretty often stop and talk.
Yep.
Just talk. I'll see someone I know over here, so I'll go talk to them for a bit.
Yep.
Go see someone else, talk to them for a bit. And it sort of helps give me a little bit of a vibe on what they're feeling, what the crowd's feeling. And everyone was saying yesterday the matches were really good, like the fights were really good.
Yep.
They were all real tight, real close.
Yep.
Which was cool. The crowd was into it. The crowd was it's always a bit dead at first.
Yeah.
But then they started getting a bit more, and towards the end it was like the crowd were pretty into it. Which was good.
Yeah.
And,
it was a good atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like it was, as you said, it was really quiet early.
Yeah, it was.
Really quiet early. It was like eerily quiet.
Yeah.
And then like we were talking about like in between rounds and stuff, like how there wasn't anyone talking in the crowd and stuff.
Hush.
But yeah, by the end of the day it was just flowing, So what sort of percentage did you get to watch? Like you watched a little bit of each fight?
Yeah, pretty much. I reckon the only fights I got to watch the full fights of were either the fights before ours, when I was sitting ringside, or our fights.
Yep.
But yeah, other than that, it was just bits and pieces here.
Yep. Or do you want to go over your guys? I'll go over mine as well.
Yeah. So we had three of our guys, Dom, Johnny and Joe.
Yep.
Dom fought first against Steve.
Yep.
And he had his first fight on the last Valley back in July, and it was just, well, I said to him before the fight, I don't give a fuck if you win or lose because you're an amateur.
Yeah.
I just said, detach yourself from the result and just go out there, throw straight punches and kick him in the leg.
And he literally only took it so that Seth got a match up.
Yeah.
Like that was the only reason he really, because that was against
correct.
Seth. So that's on my YouTube as well if you want to go back and look at Seth versus Dom.
Yep. So this one, I just said, just go out there, cut the ring off, because he's not the fastest guy. He's not explosive or athletic. So it's like walk people down, cut the ring off, make the ring small, where speed doesn't count for as much.
Yep.
Throw punches straight down the middle and just kick it the leg.
Yep.
And I said, I don't care if you win or not. That's all I want you to do.
Yep.
And he just, fuck it, that's all he did. You know,
Yeah,
he
man.
just went out and
Yeah.
like, and he performed really, and he listened really well. I've actually got some cool footage on my phone. I'm going to go through it maybe today or later this week.
Yep.
Because I had Stefan filming.
Yep.
But you can hear my voice.
Oh, cool.
So he's filming the fight, but you can hear, because I was mic'd up.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
you can literally hear me say things to Dom, and he just does it straight away.
Yeah, sick.
So
You'll see that actually. I'll probably put up Steve's tomorrow.
Yep.
I'll put up Jackie's today. So I'll put up Steve and Dom tomorrow on my YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But also saying, because I was mic'd up as well,
Yep.
Steve was following instructions better than probably anyone.
Yep.
Like, it was actually crazy. Like, he was, I'd say double up the knee, boom, boom, he'd do
Yep.
it. But just the heart gave out before anything else.
Yep.
And yeah, like Dom was, man, banged up his leg in the first round really early on. I was like, all right, gotta go southpaw.
And then he started kicking inside of his other one.
Yeah, and then that started giving out. Yeah, good. Like,
Yep.
he stuck to the fucking plan.
Yeah. I mean, we're obviously known as a leg kicking gym. And one of the things I say to my guys is if you're going to be a leg kicker, you have to be relentless.
Yeah.
No matter what leg is there, you just keep kicking. No matter how many kicks they check, you just keep kicking. And that's all.
And you'll find the timing. You'll find the timing in the end where you don't kick their check all the time. They block all the time.
Yep.
You're actually kicking them. You know when, they block, put their leg back down, boom, then you hit them, all that sort of stuff. You learn that with time.
Yep.
Next up was Johnny.
Johnny, yeah.
Yep.
So, Johnny, I mean, most people that know our gym know Johnny.
Yep.
And when he fights well, he's like really hard to stop.
Yeah.
But he's his own worst enemy, and I did say that to him like a few weeks ago. Like, the only person that can stop you is you, really.
Yeah,
And
totally agree.
he was just walking forward, doing his normal thing, but then just stopping. He just walked forward, and he'll stop and watch. And I say that to him all the time. I said, you take pictures. You know what I mean? Like, you walk forward and just go, oh, what's it? What? Just looking.
It's kind of what Steve does as well. It's that.
Yeah.
It's like they get caught. It's like, oh, pretty lights.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. And even in the clinch, they're getting in the clinch, and he's standing there, just standing there. And I'm like, what are you doing, man?
He's got a gas tank. He's
Man. He
like,
could not have been physically more prepared for that fight. He was in such good shape, and he was like working so hard in the gym. Credit to Mateus, he took advantage of the opportunities as well.
For sure.
Like, every time Johnny gave him one, he took it.
Yeah.
And he was landing his shots and moving, and so credit to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Johnny was he frustrated me.
Yeah.
He frustrated the fuck out of me. But me and him know each other well enough now. He's getting experienced enough to know where he went wrong.
Yep.
And he will discuss it.
Do you think maybe he's better off just going pro and then taking the pads off so that the shots he does land do more damage?
Yeah, I think...
Because those guys that's a real thing as well.
Yeah,
I think Browne will do better as a pro than he has as an amateur.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Johnny hits hard, especially his leg kicks are fucking hard. Like, even when him and Mateus did get into leg kicking exchanges, I felt like Johnny did still get the better of him.
Yep.
And he doesn't take damage. Like, that's why we call him the brick.
Yeah.
Brick.
Oh, not because of his brain.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah. And he lays bricks too as a job.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, he doesn't work on the farm.
Yeah, no. He's a bricky.
Yeah, right.
We call him Johnny the Brick.
Nice.
Yeah, because like hitting him was like hitting a brick.
Yeah, nice. Cute fight name.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Joe was last. Obviously, it was the fourth time we'd fought Connor.
Yep.
So we knew kind of what to expect from
Who
him.
was it? So he fought all three of the Machetas.
Yeah. He's fought Stefan twice.
Oh, Stefan twice.
Johnny once, and now Joe.
Yep. Okay.
We knew it was going to be a puncher versus a kicker. Not to say Joe can't punch, because he can punch.
Yeah.
But he's just such a fucking good kicker.
Yeah.
He's probably the best kicker I've ever coached.
Yep.
And he moves very well.
Yeah.
So it was just a matter of being smart with his defense to make sure he didn't get caught with anything.
Yep. 'Cause he did get, I think, third round he got hit with a left hook.
Yeah, he did
It looked like he got, like, not rocked, but he got rattled a bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, yeah.
Because Connor punches hard.
And I actually think, like, for me, I think that was the most complete I've seen Connor look.
Yes.
Because I got to watch most of that fight, and Connor definitely looked like the transition between the top and the bottom half of his body was better.
Yes.
It wasn't just hands or just legs. It was actually, he seemed to be more complete.
Yep, he was.
Yeah.
Yep. He did a lot of things that we expected, but then he did a lot better. Like he got into some kicking exchanges and stuff as well, which was a bit surprising. There was no time spent in the clinch in that fight.
Yep.
I think they got into the clinch for about 10 seconds in one opportunity, and that was about it.
Yep.
The rest of it was all played on the outside.
Yep.
Joe pretty much did what we wanted him to do. He's extremely coachable.
Yep.
He's very collected. So when he
Yep.
comes back to the corner, he takes information very well.
Yep,
And
that's from years of being a sports person though.
Yes,
Like he
yeah.
comes back, they've got to be able to, like, you know, he's obviously plays wog ball, and they've got to be able to change a game plan that they've just played for whatever. What's a quarter like in soccer? How long's it go for? 20 minutes.
They play by halves, don't they?
Is it halves?
I think so.
Oh, halves. Oh,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
probably is then. So
Yep.
whatever. So they play like a real long length of time as a particular way, and all of a sudden it might be like, guys, we're doing 180 spin, and we've got to go the other way now. We've got to totally change everything up. So you've got to be as a soccer player, you've got to be coachable.
Yep. And because he's a thinker as well,
Yep.
he gives feedback.
Yep.
So like, you know, he'll bring things up as well, and we'll sort of talk about it. But he makes good adjustments. But like I said to him, just don't be stupid with your defense. Make sure your hands are up, chin's down. You're being aware of what's going on,
Yep.
because he's got really good awareness.
Yeah. He's got the IQ. He's got the fight IQ
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. So he just played his game and got the win.
So
Big powerful kicks, moved his feet. And
yeah, how long do you have him for before wog ball starts again? When's that start?
he can fight at Pride. In
Okay.
3 weeks.
Yeah, and then it's back into pre-season and shit.
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
But man, at the end of the day, I get it. He's a sportsman and he's good at soccer. He's recognised in soccer. Everyone knows who he is. Like, I get that he can be really good at this, but man, he can make $1 million in soccer.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna make that in Muay Thai.
No.
Like, I get it. It's sad on your part because, you know, like, you could have, you know, he could be that guy that takes you fucking nationally, you know, that everyone knows who you are as a trainer because of someone like him, you know. Don't watch this and think that I think you're that fucking great yet. You're getting there. You've got the potential to be that great. Yeah. But for me, it's like, I get it. Like, and you know, there's the family pressure as well, and then there's the it's what he's used to, it's what he's comfortable with, and man, it's probably, you know, like Spiro. Spiro was a top level footy player, and it wasn't until his career couldn't go any further that he took up something else.
That's right. Yeah.
And he probably knows he's got something to fall back on when it's probably going to make him even better at soccer because he's going to have less pressure on himself because he knows he's got something to fall back on. So, man, if he goes really far, it's what I always say with anyone in my gym. You leave to do something you love doing, or you don't want to be a fighter because you're young Dan Dogroll Jr. He left because he gained the confidence through doing Muay Thai to pursue his Vietnamese cover band that he fucking loves doing.
Yeah.
And man, you're doing something you love doing, cool.
100%.
I would love to have you fighting for me. And it's sad for me to have you not fighting for me. But when you're doing something with your life and not just being a fucking miserable prick, cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I've had that conversation with Joe.
Yep.
I said, I'm never going to pressure you or get mad at you, or I'm never going to go, like, pressure you to give up fucking soccer and do Muay Thai and get mad at you if you do. I said, if soccer's what you want to do, I'll fucking support you. I'll back you for sure. You do what you want to do. So, whatever. And he's still young, so whatever.
How old is he?
He's 20.
Oh, wow. Yeah, right. And so he'll probably know in the next 2 years if soccer's going to be the thing, because it's kind of like a make or break sport. You either
They pick him up pretty young.
Yeah, you get that offer, you get signed to something big, or you get signed to something middle of the road, and either middle of the road's still pretty good payment and stuff. So, man, I wish him all the best with it. Whatever whichever way it goes, then all the best with it. So, I'll have a quick rundown of my guys, man. First up was Jackie. Jackie fought 2 years ago, and then disappeared. I had some shit happen outside of the gym. I got jumped at Marion and ended up having a bit of PTSD shit from it and stuff. And he came back not that long ago, maybe 4 or 5 months ago. Came back in the gym, and man, within 2 weeks, he asked me if he could join the fight team again, and he was training really good. He was in 4 or 5 days a week, loving it. But so common now, man, hit fight prep, I'd only see him twice a week.
Yeah.
It's that I believe they do it so they've got an excuse. They've got a reason. If they do lose, they've got an excuse.
Yeah, it's like that self-sabotage.
Yeah. So I wasn't expecting miracles as far as gas tank went, which in the third round that showed, and what was happening to him in the clinch where he's like trying to push his head out, like trying to push out and ducking his head, like dangerous spot to be. Started out really good, and second round was still doing a lot of the stuff that I wanted him to do. Third round was doing it, but without the step, he was meant to do like a leg kick, jab to jab, leg kick, and then step back one step, and then circle off to the right to get away from the leg kick. Because I was kind of going for leg kick. Ended up getting the win. Man, you could watch it again and probably think otherwise. And I didn't think he'd done enough to win, but probably because of how bad the clinching was.
Yep.
That was probably where my mind got swayed. But yeah, ended up getting his hand raised, which is cool. Backing it up on Pride in 3 weeks against another boy from the same gym. And Appy from Greg's gym is fighting the boy that that Jackie just fought.
Yeah, cool.
So on Pride. So then then it was Steve vs Dom. Steve, probably the worst acting I've ever had out of any of. I've had guys take dives before, man, but that was Days of Our Lives shit. I had a chat with him afterwards. I was pretty angry at him straight afterwards. It was embarrassing sort of thing, but then my ego got over it, and I had a word to him and said, look, man, I get it. Like you've probably got some shit going on there from when you actually got knocked out.
Yeah.
Like,
especially because that one at SA Muay.
Yeah, it probably thinks he's not worth it, whereas take away the 2 8 counts, and the fight was like this, man.
Yeah.
Like, he was getting his leg banged up and whatnot, but he was landing his own leg kick. He was in the clinch. He was, he was doing things. He was getting owned a bit he likes to back into a corner all the time. He does it in training, it, and ends up just getting teed off on.
Pretty fucking big too for 67, so he sort of just...
Yeah, exactly.
People,
So, but he was listening well, all that sort of stuff. Then he did a couple of real dramatic 8 counts where act like he got hit with an elbow cleanly, and which didn't really. We'll all see that on YouTube soon too. Not only sharing the good ones. Then up next was Brandon, and man, I've known Brandon had this in him the whole fucking time. Did you get to watch the video last night?
Nah, I'm going to watch it today.
Yeah. So he even said to me, once he told me, because at the start of the year, he was like, I want to smash it for a year. He goes, I'll take every fight you put me in. I'm like, cool. So this was his 11th in 12 months. His first one back, he'd had one fight before. First one back was on your show last year, and he had 2 in the one day. One of them was against Adam, who he fought yesterday.
Yep.
Then he fought Adam again since on your card as well. Had a really good first round that time, and then went to shit for the next 2. But like the day he told me that he does really want to finish at the end of the year, I was like, okay, cool. He goes, man, I even enjoyed that run. Like, it wasn't like an arduous task anymore. I'm like, but this is the problem. Like, you do this sport because you just love it. Then why the fuck is it a task?
Yeah.
Why is it hard?
Yeah.
Why is it, I don't really want to do this. This is fucking Why does everyone have to, as soon as it's something they have to do, they try and run away from it?
Yeah.
And this fight prep, man, he's been having a good time the whole time. I haven't really seen him whinge, haven't seen him doing the whole fucking, he does this face, bro, when he's tired. Hasn't been doing it. Why? Because he's been having a good time. And then gets in there, and even Adam said to me afterwards, he goes, where the fuck did that come from? He's like, I couldn't get near him. Like, Adam rocked him in the first round with the right hand, and then Brandon just kept him at the end of his kicks the whole fucking time. I'm like, I've tried to make you a clincher because you were so shit at all this other stuff. Like, but then you go and you just went and proved me wrong. But you also proved me right because I knew you could do it. But I had to make plans because you were doing so shit at all the rest of it. Yesterday was fucking ridiculous how good he was. Like, man, he did fucking great. Did fucking great. And in the little pre-fight interview, he says, I knew this was going to be the last fight I have for a while. So I'm guessing, if he fights again though, he's going to have to go pro. It's going to have to be something pro. And if if he wants to, cool. If he doesn't, cool.
Yep.
He's stuck to his word and, you know, smashed out a lot of fights this year, and I'm cool with that.
Yep.
So then we go on to, last up was Max versus the big boy from Adelaide Muay Thai. Obviously there was a minimum weight cutoff. Max drank 3 litres of water before the weigh-in. We cheated to make the weight.
Yeah.
But I said to him, first round's going to be hard.
Yeah.
First round's going to be fucking rough for you, bro.
Yeah.
Be ready for it and just survive, you know. Like, if you can throw the left knee, which is what we've been talking about the whole time, I knew that was going to be the weapon.
Yeah.
A lot left knee. He's a southpaw. He's tall. The dude's going to be trying to punch him. So, first round I don't think he threw one. Second round, we're still trying to do this other stuff and it wasn't really working. Once he landed that first left knee and realised that he didn't get punched because he was throwing that left knee, he's like, oh.
Yeah, it clicked for him.
Yeah, and then there was some big left knees thrown, and then it was clinched up, and he ended up in the third round, got an 8 count on his opponent.
Yep.
Man, good on. Will was like a rugby player.
Yep.
And man, he head kicked fucking Max.
Yeah.
Like that height difference was crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how tall he was. He's, I think, 5'8" or something.
Yeah, he's not very tall. Yeah.
And Max is 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
And fucking he head kicked him. Yeah. So Max, great performance, man. Like his debut, definitely like, I've definitely got some faith in him if he just has some faith in himself.
Yep.
Like I said to him, got a bit of ego there. Like you want to get caught up in punching on.
Yep.
Like you're probably not going to be a puncher. Like punch to set up, like I was saying right hook, left knee. Could have done the whole fight, not thrown any other shots, and probably would have done okay.
Yep.
But yeah, man. So it's, you know, you messaged me last night to check in with me because you know I've been doing it rough in the head recently, and it was nice to actually walk away from a fight show as well where I felt happy, you know, like I walk away from so many of them going, why the fuck do I even bother sometimes with these people, you know, like I have 100% faith in what I know and what I do, but I have very little faith in humanity. And sometimes it's just like, man, you go to a fight show and not one person actually tries to win, or not one person just, man, not even the win bit, they're doing what they're told. Just do what I said and you'd probably win anyway then. And it goes, so they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm like, but just remember, I know what I'm talking about.
That's right, yeah. At the end of the show yesterday, I said, I was like, I should put it in the write-up for the fights. 2 fighters listened, 1 didn't. You know, because it was, I mean, that's pretty much how it went.
But 100%, 100%. You know, mine was sometimes Steve was listening, but he was listening to the voice in his head.
Yeah.
But even like, I would say something, I'm like, double up that right knee. And Rich would turn around to me and just go, like, what? Like, exactly what I said he'd do.
Yeah.
Like, in the gym, I say something to Steve, Steve does it.
Yeah.
It's just that, he's obviously got that little fucking devil on his shoulder as well, which sucks. But I said to you when you walked in, man, I've still got some faith that he can do it.
Yeah.
And he's young, man. He's only like fucking 19.
Yeah.
Like he's got ages, like maybe First Valley next year, those two can fight again.
Yep.
I think that's a fair fight, man. Like Steve just has to want it a little bit more, I guess.
Yep.
But yeah, that's that one of those weight divisions. There's plenty of people around anyway.
67, man, that's fine.
Is Dom on Valley?
On Pride.
Oh, Pride, I mean?
Yeah. I think he's matched with one of Sam's boys.
Okay. Cool. I've got to look through if I've got anyone who can replace Steve.
Yep.
I'm not sure how the paperwork went yesterday with it because I called it off. It was a stoppage, or
I think it still goes down as a stoppage.
Because
I'm not sure.
Because in Sydney, Tyler got the ref called it off, but he got cleared.
Okay.
There was no concussion, no mandatory.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not sure. Depending on what the post fight depends whether Steve wanted to sit in victim mode or if he sat there going, oh, I'm all good, you know, like.
Yeah. I guess it depends on what the doctor's doing on the paperwork.
Yeah. So he'll know in the next couple of days whether he's, and you know, to get to this fight, we had to go through the 2 doctors thing already,
Yeah.
And so what do? Find another doctor who's going to be willing to do it? And they go, this is happening a little bit too often, mate.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, who's going to want to clear it?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. You do shit like this and you pretty much make it impossible for yourself to fight.
Yeah. Yep. If you keep trying to use the same doctors, they'll just be like, nah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Obviously, Dr. Alex is going to be one of them because he's the doctor. Everyone, and he's the easiest guy to use by far.
Yeah.
Maybe not about other stuff, but he's, for doing the fight stuff, he's fucking perfect because he knows the procedures and there's no ums and ahs and he fits you in and if you got a fight coming up, he makes sure he gets you in and all that sort of stuff. So how many have you got matched for Valley? Oh, for Pride?
So Dom's matched with one of Sam's boys, and I'm pretty sure Johnny is as well, but I don't know if we've confirmed that or not yet.
Yep.
Joe was matched again at 67, but I've told Carly
71, yeah.
not to worry about it because 67 was a bit too much for him this time around. But hopefully Stefan as well. I think.
Oh, so he ended up making the 67?
No, he was still 400 or 500 grams over.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I think Stefan will probably take the match that he was going to get.
Okay.
67. I think that's probably how we'll work it. But none of that's been confirmed yet. We'll sort it out.
Yep. And then obviously we're done for the year kind of thing. Obviously I'll be at Rebellion the weekend after Pride, and maybe the weekend after that there is a SRG show. So if I've got to try and get Rigg match, so if anyone can fucking help with that.
Yeah, sucks,
we do have a potential matchup on the SRG show if we can't get anyone here.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't want that to happen. I want him to fight here.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since he's fought here.
Yeah.
He's had that one fight in Thailand, which it is what it is.
Yep.
But yeah, I really want him to be back here fighting on home soil, so people can see that after a long time off, Rigg's still Rigg.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, because at the time, bro, when he was fighting, bro, he was like, he was the guy.
He was always fun to watch.
Yeah, man. It was like he was probably the only one doing anything as far as Thai style went at the time.
Yep.
Doing the clinching, long guard.
Yep.
Like I remember officials saying to me, "Why is he putting his hands out in front of his head like that? Is he scared of getting punched?" Like, it's called a long guard.
Long guard,
bro.
yeah.
Like that was a thing. Like that is why he lost that first time he fought Blake Holly, because that's what the officials thought.
Yeah, right.
They thought that that's what he was doing.
Fuck.
They thought he was scared of getting hit. They asked me outside. One of them asked me, they're like, why was he so scared of getting hit? Why was he putting his hands out in front of his head like that? I'm like, fuck. Like, and what was that? That was like March 2017.
Yep.
So I think, fuck, we've moved on since then.
Yeah.
Like, you can actually do a long guard now and no one thinks you're scared of getting punched.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but I mean, we were trying to implement it yesterday.
Yeah.
Like Johnny used it a bit against Mateus. Joe was using it a little bit against Connor. That was the one bit of feedback that Joe gave me afterwards. He didn't quite understand what I meant because I kept saying to him, and you can hear it in the video, commit to your long guard when he's punching. Commit to it. And afterwards he's like, I was sort of trying, but he was still sort of knocking me backwards. And I was like, no, because you were trying as you were moving backwards.
Yes.
So you can't move backwards into it. You've got to commit to it, stand your ground, and put
push forward even.
Yeah.
Like push forward. Like I always say, like don't long guard and stand there.
Yeah, that's right.
Long guard and push. Yeah. Long guard going that way, even if it's a slight movement.
Yeah.
Slight movement forward a little bit, then you can reply with something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't go backwards with a long guard.
That's right.
And even standing still, unless you put your body weight forward, you're going to be your head's going to be bouncing backwards.
Yeah, he was, and then he was like, okay. But yeah, he just didn't quite get what I meant, but then it made sense to him afterwards. But I just said to him, it's not natural to you anyway, because we only just started working on it like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it's just something that you just got to keep practicing.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like it's one of those parts of a technique that if you can get it down pat, it's hard to get past.
Yep. And being a powerful kicker like him too, it would just open up a lot of avenues.
For sure. Yeah, long guard while they're punching and then switch left kick or right left kick straight into their body. And like I love seeing like what Browne did yesterday where he's using kicks to stop himself getting punched.
Yep.
Oh, it's like...
Yep.
And when his opponent goes to me, man, didn't know how to get past those kicks. It showed that those kicks were fucking with his head, because when he actually watches it back, Adam will actually see he was landing punches a lot.
Yeah.
But because the kick was hitting him as well, I don't think he even realised his hand had hit the head.
Yep.
And that's what I always say, like the kick will do enough damage to the body, will move the body enough to make the person think their punches aren't landing, even if they are.
Yep.
And unless you're asleep on the ground, you're probably going to get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was part of their plan with Joe and Connor too.
Yep.
Especially on the left, when he kick off his left side, we're aiming at the wrist. I was like, kick at the wrist, kick
Yep.
at the wrist, kick the wrist, because then it shuts down that right hand straight away. And he did it. But he did it like 7 times in a row. And then Connor went finally, and swept him.
Oh.
And I said to him afterwards, I was like, the only reason you got swept is because you did like 7 left kicks in a row.
Yeah. Do left kick, then throw a right hand, then throw a left kick, then a right, goes back to it, keep going back. Do 7, but it should be broken up every 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's
don't always just do 2, don't always just do 3. Like you've got to be able to break it up and mix up your timing.
Yep.
Is there anything, what's some lessons for you from yesterday? Like something that you maybe slapped Johnny? I'm happy to be the slapper.
Yeah. I put up, I shared the gym post on my personal Facebook, and I said it was probably one of my favourite days as a coach and a promoter, because they mostly, for the most part, did listen.
Yep.
Johnny was the only one that sort of, didn't quite get it going.
Yep.
But it's an issue that we've run into before. So, it's just, we've got to talk it out a little bit more and try and just get back in the gym. And if we could get the Johnny that hits pads to fight, beautiful.
Because he even spars the same though. Right. He does. Gym Johnny when he's doing all that in the gym, needs to know why he's doing it. Yeah. Because if it's like Gym Jason is fight Jason. Yeah. If he's had a shit fight prep, he's a shit on the fight night.
Yeah, okay.
And but he knows, like the reason why he's doing all of that in the gym is because of that fight.
Yeah.
So Gym Johnny needs to know why he's being Gym Johnny.
Yeah.
Because this is who I'm going to be hurting whoever's in front of me.
That's right. Because in the gym, he's like intense.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Intense.
I mean, I've seen him at our gym, with Glynchin and stuff, and he's a machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a little flash of it yesterday, because his face changes. Like he gets a...
Yep.
And he did it, and he walked Mateus down, and he threw a couple shots, and I was like, here we go.
Yep.
And then he stopped. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah, so unless he's 100% committed to... I say it over and over again, Muay Thai personality. Like, if you don't have it, if you don't create it, there's Jason and there's 50 Shades. Like, I said it for a long time to Shari. You've got to get comfortable with having this alter ego.
Yeah, that's right.
And it has to be the alter ego. Man, Shari Davis is a lovely girl. The alter ego needs to be an absolute piece of shit.
That's right.
Yeah. Like, Jason's alter ego makes everyone in the fucking gym hate the fact that he's in fight prep.
Yeah.
Perfect. He's not hurting them as such, but he's hurting them. He's not damaging them. He's just hurting them. He's just breaking them down over, like, he's got 6 people clinching him. Every 30 seconds they change, and by the end of it, they're all fucked and he's still fine.
Yeah.
It's like, you have to create the alter ego.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, Johnny has to create the brick.
Yep.
Like, and when he's in training, he's the brick, and the brick hurts people.
Yeah, that's right.
Whereas Johnny's the lovely little Dago. Because they're all lovely boys, man.
They are, yeah.
They're lovely boys.
Yeah.
And being a nice guy and being a fighter don't really go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So that's why you need to step away from, okay, Steve's another one, Steve is Steve. But in the gym, Steve needs to be like, I'm Steve.
Yeah.
Like I'm here. I say to people, like, your outside world, if you need to talk to me about it and, vent and make yourself feel better, cool.
Yep.
But aside from that, I don't give a fuck who you are outside of here. Like, don't be disrespecting me and I'm fine. Don't be doing shit that's, making the gym look bad or whatever. But I care about you personally. I don't care about your outside world.
Yeah.
So when you're in here, be the guy that you need to be in here.
Yep.
Fuck who you are out there.
Yeah.
And it's something you have to learn within your first 5 or 6 fights.
Yep.
Otherwise, you get to where Brandon's at. 12 fights later, 4 wins.
Yeah.
But 12 fights later and 3 good performances.
Yeah.
And those 3 good performances were all very dominating.
Yep.
One of them was more experienced than him and he beat him pretty clearly. One of them was the dude from SRG when we fought in Ballina and just clinch raped him. And then this one yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, there is 3 good performances, but that's because those 3 fights, it wasn't Brandon fighting.
Yeah.
It was Malcolm Turnbull. What is someone calls him Francis. Oh, Jasper. Jasper calls him Francis.
Francis.
Yeah. I don't know why. I think it's because it's like a softy name or something.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like you've got to be able to create that personality of someone who's not you.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, I had my birth name. What am I going to fucking bother?
Yeah.
And then I had Pinky was the fighter.
Yeah.
And then the reason why I ended up changing my name legally to Pinky was, one, most people knew me as that, but also, man, I'm a fighter in life.
Yeah.
Like the alter ego Pinky is who saved me.
Yeah.
So fuck it, I'm now the alter ego full time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you do. We talked about that all the time, and especially as a walk forward guy, like if you're a walk forward guy like Johnny, I said to him, you have to be an arsehole.
Yep.
You just have to be a straight up arsehole when you fight.
Yep.
You have to, like, the ref has to be pushing you back. You
Yep.
have to be giving him no space, no
Yep.
respect. Just get in there
Yep.
and go. And when I was fighting, I was similar, you know. Like, I had fights with guys that I was really friendly with, like Peter Panner from Young
Yep.
Lions. I fought Peter up in Whyalla.
Yep.
And we were really friendly before the fight, but I was like trying to kill him when we fought. And I gave him, I think, 2 or 3 8 counts.
Yep.
So, like, it was there.
Yep.
And then afterwards, hugging him again.
Yep.
You know, it's just, you've got to be able to flip that switch.
You do.
You have to. You have
It's
to.
man, we're in a hurt sport.
Yeah. Yep.
Give me a sec. What was your fight name again?
The Blitz.
The Blitz, that's right. That's right. Of course. And when was your last one?
Fuck, like 10 years ago. Resurrection.
True.
Warrior,
Yeah, it was too.
2014.
Was that where you like start out like fucking Connor?
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember you used to wear the Connor hats all the time and
Yeah.
shit. And do you still like him?
No.
Do you still watch MMA?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah. So it's funny, like, coming from my last fight, that was never meant to be my last fight.
No, it wasn't. No, neither was mine.
Yeah, I was meant to, like, but that was when I was looking at going into MMA, and then I thought about boxing, then I thought about doing, thought about all sorts of different shit, and then somehow coaching just.
Because yours was a back injury too, right?
Yeah, I've had back injuries for.
Yeah, same. Because back's what retired me.
Yeah, yep. I even pulled out of a fight on the day because I hurt my back in the change room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, against Hayden Lyon from Warlocks.
Oh, really? Fuck.
Injured my back in the change room. Yeah. Fuck. Yep. Oh man, I felt horrible, because it was at Whyalla, all his family and shit were there. I was like, fuck. But,
Yeah, man.
But to be fair, I wasn't going to go out, because the whole game plan, because Hayden's such a heavy puncher, it was like, move.
Yeah.
Move. And I was like, I'm not about to go out there and
Stand there in front of him. Yeah,
Like,
get killed. Yeah, because that's what happens when you stand in front of Hayden.
Yeah. Yep.
Fuck. My worst warm-up accident was the fight's just been. People have just discovered it on YouTube. I got blonde hair, like a blonde mohawk and shit in it. But I was warming up and I went to throw a knee and I hit the fucking handle on the massage table.
Oof.
And it was like, it's got like the 2 loops of metal and then the plastic handle in it.
Yep.
So like hit one of the loops of metal, it was like sharp, just fucking sliced my knee open. Like big chunk of Vass all over my knee to go out of a fucking fight. It definitely fucked with my head.
Yeah.
Like, I obviously didn't feel it when I was in there, and I forgot all about it when I was in there, but it totally took my focus for that fight.
Yeah.
And I ended up doing really shit in the fight as well.
Yeah. I think mine was more like, I mean, I've always had back injuries,
Yeah.
and I think the reason why I played up so much that night is because I cut weight with I had a bit of a flu, and I really
so inflammation in your body and stuff as
really
well.
struggled to fucking make the weight.
Yep.
And then I think my body was just a bit fucking.
Yeah, your body said fuck you, and
had a bit of a spasm.
And that's the thing when you are. That's why towards the end of my career I was just fighting. I was either fighting in China at a heavier weight, or I was fighting locally in Thailand where you didn't have to make weight.
Yep.
Because I was having back dramas. And the last thing I needed was to be, doing my 8 kilo weight cuts I used to do.
Yep.
And have it with the fuck back.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden everything's spasming up, and then you're not fighting anyway, or you can't lift your leg past their fucking. Because the Thai that fought Charlie Bubb last week, he's got a fucked back.
Yeah.
And after Charlie hit him with something, I think it was late in the first, or maybe it was in the second round or something, but his back spasmed up because he's got this back problem, back spasm, and he couldn't, no, that's right, so it was in the first round. Come back in the first round, he couldn't kick above the waist.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck.
Yep.
Like those kind of things is what fucking happens if you're trying to fight with back injuries.
Yep.
And obviously weight cuts and all that sort of shit, it just fucks with it all.
If I knew what I know now about like recovery and alcohol and shit as well, I probably would have had more fights. Maybe the back injury wouldn't have bothered me as much.
Yep.
But back then I was like, I trained like a fucking idiot all the time.
Yep.
Just thought that I had to redline myself every session. And then...
Which is okay if you're doing it for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But anything longer than that...
I was doing it all the fucking time. Even when I didn't have fights coming up.
Fuck.
Yeah. I get like white line fever. I used to just get in the gym and just go.
Yep.
Hammer and tongs.
Yep.
And then I didn't do much recovery. And then I'd just go out partying and drinking and shit as well.
Yeah, I did in the early days.
Yeah.
I can't believe in this day and age, like people are still drinking after fights.
Yeah.
Like I can't believe that's still a fucking thing. I said to like Josh after his boxing fight in Canberra, like, don't fucking drink tonight. Mm-hmm. Oh, I was gonna have a beer. Like, I hope you're kidding.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, no. I'm like, what? How is that still a thing?
Yeah.
Like, man, you don't even have to be educated in recovery and brain injuries to know that alcohol after a fight is a fucking dumb idea.
Dumb idea. You don't have to get knocked out. You don't have to be concussed. Any kind of head trauma, and then you go out and drink alcohol. It's just stupid.
Man, and he's just fought 8 rounds of boxing, and
90% of it's headshots.
yeah, like how the fuck is that still a thing, man? Like.
Yeah. It was the thing.
It was the thing. Fucking oath it was the thing because we also didn't know.
That's right.
And then
up to fucking Whyalla, and
bro.
like we'd all be hanging out in the same hotel. We'd all go punch the fuck out of each other. Yeah.
Westlands.
And then go hang out at the Westlands and get on the piss.
Yeah.
Like it was just what we did.
Yeah. And it's like, even things like, obviously people go out, they get on coke, pingers, fucking whatever, like after a fight. Man, do whatever you have to fucking do. Not in my fight team, but do whatever you have to fucking do, but just leave it a week. So, and because another thing is, the only thing I used to think about, I used to drink, when I drank after my first 2 fights, I was like, fuck, like my injuries.
Yep.
They swell up. Everything gets fucking worse.
Yep.
All right. So now I'm going to leave it a week before I fucking drink. I think I did that with my 3rd fight or whatever, but it's like, now we have so much information out there. And man, if you're a professional fighter, how is your go-to the most unprofessional thing you can do?
Yeah.
Like, it's actually ridiculous. I look at the amount of fucking people still partying after fights. Like, oh, what's the plan? Oh, man, we're going fucking out. Man, go to bed.
Yep.
Go to bed. You've got, like, the rest of your life to party.
Yep.
Like, wait till you know how bad your CTE is before you fucking start, drinking and partying and shit.
Yep.
Do your Christmas break.
Yep.
Like, you're not missing out on anything.
Yeah.
Like, that life is so shit, bro.
Yeah. It was like, coming from a small town where I came from and such a small gym, like where I didn't even really have training partners much at all. There was myself and coach, like my coach Kev. And then we had a few people come in and out from time to time. But, you know, and all my mates that I grew up with, that's all they didn't play sport. None of them played sport. And, like, you got that whole small town syndrome where it's just like, just get on the piss, go out and party. So it was easy for me to just go, oh, yeah, let's go. Like, I remember fighting Kandiata at Knees of Fury and getting elbowed.
How do I know that name?
He used to train at the pit, fight at the pit.
That's right,
I think he was at Calsock for a bit too.
Yeah, I think he was. I think he was,
yeah, he hit me with an elbow and I got stitches in my head. I went out to town after that fight holding a paper towel on my head just so I could stop it bleeding so I could get into clubs. And I went out clubbing and shit straight after that fight. Like, that's just the sort of shit that I used to do with my
But it's also, man, you think about 10 years ago, everyone had the internet, but we still didn't have the access to the information.
No, that's
like,
right.
we knew it wasn't a good idea, but now there is so much information out there on the long-term effects of head trauma and stuff like that. Man, I'm a prime example of what the fucking long-lasting fucking head trauma fucking thing is. Like, it's a battle every fucking day.
Yeah.
And that was, man, I stopped drinking 20 years ago.
Yep.
I only had like I think I only drank after maybe 3 fights.
Yep.
And then I'd never drank alcohol again. Like, took other stuff, but not after fights.
Yeah.
Never.
But back then it was sparring too, though, like
Hard sparring.
Man, I used to get dinged in sparring.
Bro,
Like,
I used to get my bell rung all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
all the time. I've had my bell rung worse in the gym than I have in fights.
Yeah, same. Aside from a couple of fights but obviously I had a lot of fights as well, but aside from a couple of fights where I got fucking dropped or slept, most of my hardest shots I've worn were in the gym.
Yeah.
Like back in the day. Like, I remember doing like 10 rounds a night with darts, like 10 rounds of boxing a night with darts, and being on my ass like 3 or 4 times, like not through him even hitting me overly hard, but I was a bit chinny.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, oh fuck. It's like, and it was kind of like I'd get hit, it'd ring my bell. I'm like, I'm better off sitting down right now and getting a couple of seconds to recover than wearing more and then not getting the chance to recover.
Yeah.
So I was sitting on my ass a lot of the time. Like, it probably looked like I was fucking just flailing all over the place, but there was a bit of logic behind it.
Yeah. I had the opposite problem. I could take a hell of a shot.
Rang chin, bro, rang chin.
Yeah. And I just keep eating them.
Yeah.
And just keep sparring.
Yes, hamburgers.
Yeah, I remember going to Southside for sparring and sparring Lex Hanegraaff when he was like...
Ew, brother, ew.
2-3 weeks out from fighting Charlie Chow, I reckon. And he kicked me, like, I reckon it was one of the early rounds. I hadn't even warmed up properly yet. And I dropped my hand and everything and he kicked me in the fucking head. And it was like, it was so loud that people that were sparring around us stopped and turned. And I didn't fall over, I just got hit. And he's like, "You all right?" And I was like, "Yep." And then I stood there for a bit and my legs went a bit jelly and I was like, "Oh, fuck, maybe not."
Maybe not.
Yeah, and then I sat a round out. But that, because it was one of the early rounds, Kev was like...
Oh, you've come all this way.
Yeah, Kev was like, "Oh, man, you know, are you all right? You reckon you'd be able to..."
Where were you? Was it Angaston? No.
Kapunda.
Oh, Kapunda.
Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, all right." And I just went out there, nothing was working, man. I was obviously concussed, but I just had that missing link. Like, you'd see shots coming, but just...
Whereabouts in Kapunda was it?
So Kev's house.
Where does he live?
He lives in Hare Street, just down from the high school.
Where's the high school? I'm trying to picture it now. All right, so coming to Kapunda, past the pub?
Well, there's 4 of them.
Oh, so yeah, true. All right, so Mobile's on the right, Mogas is on the right hand side, Mobile on the right hand side.
Yeah, and you keep going up the main street and then you get...
Hardware store on the right and stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
You keep going and then you get up to...
BP,
the BP.
Yep.
And you turn left down there.
Okay. So that's that. Turn left at one of the pubs.
Yep.
Yep.
And then Hare Street's just on your right, like down that road.
Oh, towards, but heading down towards, because that's where you go to the lookout, right?
It's like...
You go a bit further down to go to the lookout,
Yeah. Right, if you turn right at the BP, you go into Tylee.
Yeah. And that's and you go through there to your Dunder and shit, and if you turn right at the BP, go to your Dunder and stuff. And
Yep.
have you been up to that lookout?
Gundry's Hill.
Yeah, like recently, in recent times though,
Yeah.
when they redid it all.
Yeah.
Fucking nice.
Yeah.
Good little burnout pad.
Yeah. People used to go. Oh man, we used to go up there all the time. People were up there smoking meth and shit all the time.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah. Because I went to the last time I was in Kapunda was for the rodeo.
Yep.
Yeah. Fucking went there with Jasper and shit.
Yeah.
And it was like stormy, bro. Like rain coming in, like wind, every shit. The fence always blowing over and stuff. But yeah, I used to spend a lot of time in Kapunda, man. Like where Jasper lived in Kapunda, which was turn left at the BP or down towards the showgrounds.
Yep.
Turn left again. I can't remember what the street's called now, but dead end street down there. But he lived in the same street where my auntie and uncle were when I was a kid.
Yeah, right.
He lived in the same street, same dead end street they lived in.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah. So
So I first met Kev when I was a kid because I went to school with his son.
yep.
So I was friends with his son growing up. And we first started, like the first time I trained with Kev was just in his little rumpus room at his house.
Yep.
And then I stopped training for a little bit. And then when I was about 16, 17, one of my best mates, he's still one of my best mates today, Pity started training.
Yep.
And was like, oh, you should come back and do Muay
Was
Thai.
he the dude sitting behind me yesterday with his missus? Was he?
Nah, he wasn't there yesterday.
Okay.
He lives in the state.
Okay.
But yeah, he was like, oh, you should come back and start training again, and that's how I sort of got back into it. And
Yeah.
Kev was like, oh, so you want to do this regularly? And I was like, yeah. And so he went down to his shed and just cleared like a space probably as big as this room maybe.
Yeah.
With a dirt floor.
Yep.
And just laid some carpet down, and we just had a bag and some pads, and then he'd take me over to Josh Greats.
Yep.
And I'd spar with the guys over there.
Yep. Yep.
And that's pretty much how it started.
No shit. And where did you live again? I know I went there. I know I went to your dad's house, but
So back then I was living at my mum's, which
Okay.
is in Kapunda, just
Okay.
a couple of streets over.
okay.
Yeah.
And where was your dad?
He lives out towards Tarlee.
Tarlee,
in a little place called Bethel.
Bethel. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Yeah. I remember coming there that one time. Was that like Halloween or something?
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, we had a Halloween party out there.
Yeah, fires and stuff. Oh, bro, that
Yeah.
was beautiful though, huh? Like,
Yeah,
what a spot.
we have a bonfire out there every year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, most people do though. Like they have all their shit they collect over the year, and they burn bush before fucking fire season starts.
It's usually around my birthday because my birthday's in winter.
Yep.
So we usually just go, I will go burn some shit.
Yeah, we had some big ones at Jasper's as well.
Yeah.
At all of his fucking places, really.
Yeah.
Like the last one was in Roseworthy, and like, bro, it got out of hand. Like, I come walking out, like it was like starting to die down a little bit, and Jasper's like, "What do you got there?" I'd literally like moved everything out of his carport, rolled up the roll of carpet that was on the floor, like took the whole roll of carpet, like slammed that onto it,
Wow.
like everything, bro.
Anything that comes out of your house is super flammable.
Yeah.
You notice how, until you start actually burning, because I've been at a mate's house and we threw couches and mattresses and shit on it. Fucking
Bro.
hell, man. It's
Yeah, man.
insane. No wonder houses go up like that.
Yeah. The thing is that everything we have in our house is poisonous. Like this material on us all the time is not good.
Yeah.
Like the things our jocks are made out of.
Yep.
Like you should be wearing cotton jocks because it's bad for your fucking balls.
Yep.
But it's like man, these fires. Like Jasper would come walking out and like he'd walk past the fire and like, did he just throw something on? It's like a whole can of fucking degreaser or something like. Bro, it was just. Yeah, it was out of control.
Yeah.
Shit melting on the cars that were like 20 metres away because the fires were so big and hot. Furniture, everything going in there, you know?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's a good thing about living in the country though, man.
I mean, I grew up doing a lot of that shit. you know?
Yep.
I grew up doing a lot of that shit.
Yeah, do you miss having like property, like out, do you miss being...
I do.
Yeah.
We're going to do that at some stage. I mean,
Yep.
so that's in our plans. Like the house we're in now is just like in pretty much the suburbs in Freeling.
Yep.
On like a 700 square metre block. But
Yep.
we're going to fix that house up.
Yep.
Because it was a bit of a blank slate when we moved in.
Yep.
The guy that owned it before us went bankrupt, and there was heaps of shit he just didn't get done.
Is that on that estate?
Not the brand new one.
Okay.
It was built in 2012.
Okay.
So it was,
That's the one on the other side of like the turn off, right? Like you got the
Yep.
Freeling turn off and it's on the other side of the turn.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so we're going to fix that house up and then resell it, and then we
Yep.
want to get a house on like a couple hectares or something,
Yeah, cool.
and just
Yeah, nice.
and we're learning to be self-sufficient.
Yep.
Like I've gone full fucking green thumb
Nice.
gardener.
Good.
Like I've started growing. We planted some strawberry plants the other day, and planted some chilies and stuff.
Yep.
And I've got a space down behind my shed that's like 4 meters by 5 meters.
Yep.
And I'm going to put a greenhouse there.
Yeah, cool.
and we're just going to start growing veggies and shit.
Yeah, nice.
And then when we do,
It's important, man.
when we do get a place with a couple hectares, we want to like buy a steer from the markets every now and then.
Yep.
Buy a sheep or whatever, and like grow our own meat as well.
Yep.
Chickens.
Are you? Can you do the whole killing and stuff, like gutting them? And
I've grown up in.
I struggle with the gutting bit.
Yeah.
I'm alright with the rest of it.
I've worked in piggeries as well.
Okay.
I worked at a piggery for a few years, and
Yep.
I worked at a poultry slaughterhouse.
Yep.
For a few years, so I've been around that.
Did you have to do them catching the chickens? Like,
Nah,
that
they
shit?
come up in crates and you
Okay.
just pull them out, stick them in a funnel, and
Yeah.
chop the heads off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they still do it the old school way out. The one that I worked at, they still do it that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like you've got the massive factories like Ingham's and shit where they do it. They stun them and stuff. But
Yeah.
they do it the old school way, just in the funnel, chop the heads
Yeah.
off.
Yep. Yeah, we did. We killed all our roosters a couple of years back at Jasper's house in Roseworthy.
Yeah.
Like, they've just been annoying, so let's just eat them.
Yep.
So, lopped their heads off and plucked them, obviously in the hot water,
Yep.
pluck them,
Yep.
fucking. Then the missus did the gutting bit. And
Yep. Yeah, I think it's definitely a skill that's dying, is learning how to grow. Man. Even learning how to cook.
Yeah.
So many people don't even know how to fucking
Man.
cook. Me and Alyssa both I started learning how to cook years ago from my mum. My mum's a really good cook.
Yep.
And then when my dad and my mum separated, my dad was with a chef.
Oh, cool.
For about 11 years.
Yeah, right.
So I learned off of her and my mum, because I remember saying when I move out of home, I don't want to eat shit.
Yeah.
So because I was training,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I wanted
yeah.
to eat proper. So
Yeah.
I learned how to cook years ago, and I've gotten pretty good at it. But Alyssa's a really good cook too.
Cool.
And now we're starting to get into learning how to grow food.
Yep.
So it's definitely skills that are dying.
Yeah, man.
People don't know how to grow their own
No,
food. They
man.
don't know how to cook.
Because they live on properties like this.
Yeah.
Like this is like we got this little fucking thing out here, which is where we grow all of our herbs and all that stuff that we use for Thai food. But aside from that, man, where the fuck would I grow anything?
That's right.
Yeah, like we're living in shoeboxes in the city where we're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
This isn't how society's supposed to be.
No, that's right.
While we're talking about like nutrition stuff, like what's your thought process on all that? Like, how do you go with like your guys? Do they have a nutritionist, or do they?
Well, I studied it. So I did a.
I do remember you did that.
There's a guy from America called George Lockhart.
Yep.
And he does nutrition and weight cutting for fighters.
Yep.
For athletes, he's worked with like Tyson Fury. He's
Yep.
Tyson Fury's nutritionist.
Yep.
He works with he's worked with Conor McGregor and like heaps of massive
Tyson
names.
Fury is he like the big what's his name? The
Heavyweight boxer.
Welsh guy. Is Welsh?
English.
Is he? He's a fucking pretty shit nutritionist if that's his fucking
Well,
name.
yeah.
No, but
no, he's worked with like massive. He works
Yeah,
with
cool.
massive names. He released like a bit of a certificate.
Yep.
So I did that.
Yep.
But it's not rocket science.
It's not.
It's not.
It's really not.
People try and make it rocket science, but it's fucking not.
They try and make a rocket science so it's something they can sell.
That's right.
But
Yeah.
I also understand why people pay someone to do it for them.
Yep.
Like, most of my guys go to Condition Nutrition. Peter's great, man. Like, and he outside of the just the nutrition bit, he actually cares. Like when Jason stopped, he checked in with me to see if Jason was okay and all that sort of stuff. Like he gives a fuck, And the thing is, I find the main reason I say that people should have someone like him is because he knows exactly how the weight cut process works.
Yep.
And the recovery process.
Yep.
Like you go through him, he will have you down to within 7% of your weight on fight week. By weight cut day, you'll be da-da-da-da-da.
Yep.
Then this is the exact things you have in this order after the fight, like after the weigh-in. It's fucking ridiculous, man. Like that's the stuff that doing a nutrition course and all that sort of stuff doesn't teach you.
Yeah.
His stuff with that is so far, like, so deep that obviously it's through experience.
Yeah.
And he's experimented with stuff. Okay, this worked better than that.
Yeah.
This worked better than that. Like, fuck, man.
Yeah, well, that was
It's
the thing
crazy.
about- weight cutting is one of those things that there's a lot of bro science.
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I mean?
100%.
Oh no, man, you should do it this way, or you should do it this way. But that's why I wanted to actually go out and study.
Yep.
From someone who actually makes a living.
Yeah,
doing
for sure.
exactly
100%.
that.
They're the people to learn from.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's not just a nutritionist. He's like he does weight. That's weight cutting's his thing.
Yeah.
So I've got to relearn it now that we're actually looking at going pro, because obviously as an amateur you don't have to worry about that sort of shit.
Yeah.
But now that we're looking at maybe Johnny going pro next year, I've got to sit down and go through all my notes and shit again, because there is a whole section on the water loading and the process before the weigh-in.
Yep.
What he needs to do exactly after the weigh-in, how much he needs to drink of this and that.
Because this is where people sort of go wrong with water loading, is they just think, oh man, just fucking start drinking 8 litres.
Yeah.
But you only have to drink 50% more than what you'd normally drink.
Yeah.
Because that's enough to shock your body.
Yep.
Like I do 4 litres a day. I'd have to drink 6.
Yep. It's like I was explaining this to someone the other day. It's your body's constantly in a state of homeostasis, they call it, where it's like it's balancing out. Basically, the basics of it is you're trying to balance out fluids and salts.
Yep.
And by water loading, you throw that balance out.
Yes.
So it sort of starts to trick your body into releasing more fluid.
Yep.
And that's why about 10 days out from the weigh-in too, you cut out sodium, because then it makes it drop even further.
Yes.
And then your body starts releasing more fluid.
Yep.
And usually the water you're intaking, water loading, has to do with how much weight you have to lose.
Yes. Yeah. True.
Yeah. So if you've got more weight to lose, you drink a bit more. You drink a bit more water.
Yeah.
But it all comes down to how much you've got left.
Yeah.
And 10 days out, you should be the weight that you'll be when you rehydrate again. So 10 days out from your weight cut, once you get down to your weight, once you rehydrate, you'll probably be around the exact same weight you were 10 days out.
Yep, that makes sense.
10 days out is when you normally start doing like all your calculations.
Yep.
And shit like that. Well, I've got to sit down and relearn all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. The thing is, it'll come back quickly because you learned it, you know?
Yeah. And it's the refueling part that a lot of people get wrong too.
Yep.
Like, it's, like I said, even Joe, because Joe just did a tiny little cut yesterday. I said to him, the most important, he goes, oh, do you want me to go eating something now? And I said, no. I said, the most important thing is putting water and salt back into your body. So go get at least 1.5 liters of water and put just a couple pinches of good quality salt in it. Yep. And drink that slowly. Yep. And drink it and finish that before you eat something. Yep. Then have something to eat, a little bit to eat. Yep. And then drink another one.
Yep. You know? Totally agree. Yep. I always just, like, Rigg was always a good weight cutter. Yep. And his thing was always he would not eat until he was pissing clear. Yes. Yeah. And you have to do it slow. Slow, yeah. Everything. Yeah, you can't just scull shit. Yeah, because then especially if you've got salt, like if you've got salt in your water and you scull it, that's the reason why we don't drink seawater, because it completely throws out the balance. Yeah. And you'll start vomiting. It's called osmotic diarrhea. Yes. Yeah. Yep. So you'll shit yourself and vomit. Nice. Yeah. Make some movies out of that. Yeah. So what's your plans for next year? Like, do you have some more up and comers coming through that could possibly? Maybe. I think the fight team might be relatively quiet in the start of the year. I think it'll probably be. That's my plan. Yeah. I think it'll be Johnny and Dom. Yep. Stefan as well, maybe. Yep. See how Stefan goes. Yep. Joe will be back kicking a fucking ball around, touching bums. Yep. Yeah. But yeah, there might be a couple more. We got Brody, obviously. Yeah. Brody would fight every fucking day if he could. Yeah. The day he becomes an adult, fucking sweet. Because he'll just fight all the time. Yeah. But the hardest part is just getting him matched now. TJ likes fighting too. He had his first one at Muay Thai Vic the other week, and he loved it. So he'll probably do it as well. But obviously juniors are neither here nor there because they're hard to match and stuff. And then we have Josh Martin. He sparred with the little redhead kid. Sparred with Bella at one of your interclubs, and then sparred with. He wants to have a crack. Oh, cool. Year. How old's he? He's 12. Cool. Or about to turn 12. Yeah, sweet. Just turned 12, I think. Yeah. Yeah, nice. Yep, he wants to have a go, but yeah, and then I don't know, the rest of the gym we'll see. There's a couple of guys floating around that could probably start training with the fighters if they want to. Yep. We'll see how we go. Yeah, I think what I've got right now is probably all I'm gonna have for a little bit, I reckon. Yeah. I think we're potentially only gonna have one amateur on Pride now. Yep. And hopefully we still get the 2 pros on. Mm-hmm. Man, my plan for this year wasn't a numbers game. It wasn't to have as many as we fucking could. Yeah. Which was, on paper, I think it's still well over 30, maybe even close to 40 fights anyway. Yep. But yeah, plan is just to keep it quieter, man. Like it was way easier just having these 4 guys prepping, being able to give them enough attention.
Yeah.
Jason's not fighting, so he's able to give them enough attention. He's in there pretty much every day anyway.
Yep.
Obviously, we're supposed to have 5 on. Teresa was supposed to fight too, but health issue got in the way, so which sucks, but is what it is. So she'll be probably fighting in the new year as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, aside from that, man, I can't even really. We've kind of reset again. Like Tyler's having a bit of a time away. Seth's having a little bit of time away. Who's the next to go pro then? Like it's back to that again. Back to having the same. Just got Josh, Panna, and Rigg for now as my pros.
Yep.
And pretty happy just to, man, that's not even bothering me now.
Yeah.
Like less is more for me at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
If I had 10 guys that were like not needing to be babied and just pushing and putting in,
yeah.
cool, man.
Sure. Yeah.
But I'm over the whole having 10 and 7 of them. I'm like, man, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Why are you not here? Why? Like, I'm sick of that stuff, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm apologies in advance, including to yourself, all the fucking amateur promoters, because next year, if my guys are within 3 weeks of a fight and they're not doing enough, I'm just going to pull them. Like, man, they're amateurs. Their opponent can miss out. Sorry, I'm fucking over it.
Yeah.
Like, man, sorry, you've just had too many sessions off. You're not training hard enough. Tomorrow's your last chance. If you put in 100% tomorrow, then I'll keep you in. Otherwise, tomorrow night after training, I'm pulling you.
Yep.
I'm changing things up, man, because of how let down I felt this year by so many people.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually been ridiculous this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then, you got people like Rigg, man, who just do it.
Yeah.
They just fucking work.
Yep.
And he's the last of a fucking generation.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's why, talking about that, that's why I didn't get heaps mad at Johnny yesterday, because it's like, I can't be too mad at him because he shows up every day.
Yeah.
He does everything he's told to do.
Yeah.
He'll do more if you ask him to do it. Like,
Yep.
he'll do it. So it's like, you know what? Like, you had a shit day.
Yep.
You know you had a shit day.
Yep.
So let's just get back. He's like he said to me yesterday, I'll see you tomorrow. So he's going to be in the gym tonight. So, you can't be too mad at guys like that.
For sure.
Just there all the
I
time.
actually saw a good thing on Instagram from Vin Lee from Honor Martial Arts in Honor Muay Thai in Melbourne. He put up a thing going, when you guys are supposed to, your fighters are supposed to do 5 rounds, but they're doing 7. They're supposed to be doing this, but they're doing okay. They're the guys I want now.
Yeah.
That's what, you need to be that guy.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see when it comes time to do your sprints, man, you can't even function after doing your sprints.
Yeah.
And then you still just, while you're not functioning, you're putting your wraps on.
Yeah.
Get ready for the next part.
Yeah.
Like, I need to start seeing that now, because I know, man, I don't care about the results at the end of the amateur fights. Like, Jackie yesterday was the proof. He didn't look that good. He didn't do that good, but he did what I expected of him, what I asked of him.
Yeah, that's right.
I said, do this, he did it.
Yep.
And he did it to the best of his ability with the little amount of fucking work that he puts in.
Yep.
Don't take a dive, because obviously that shit will piss me off.
Yep.
But the rest of them, man, they listened. They did exactly what they were supposed to do.
Yeah. Well, one conversation I had with Dom before his fight, and I actually said this to a couple of the Adelaide Muay Thai guys out the back too. I just chat, because I'll do that. I'll just walk around and chat to fighters from other gyms, see how they're feeling, ask them how they're feeling, because it gives me good feedback for the show.
Yeah, for sure.
But I said to him, this is only your second fight. Like, you're an amateur. Completely detach yourself from the result.
Yep.
Don't even worry about it, because if you're worried about what the result is, then you'll go in there, and if things don't start going your way, you'll go, fuck, I'm losing.
Yeah.
And then you'll fight shit.
I say start worrying about the result when you get to your 5th fight.
Yeah.
Because when you get to your 5th fight is when you should be a little bit more comfortable in there.
Yep.
And you should actually be able to start playing the game a little bit.
Yep.
So you don't need to focus on, you should be naturally playing the game a little bit.
Yep.
So you don't need to, you can focus on, this is what I need to be doing to win.
Yeah.
But before then honestly, you're just doing it.
Yeah.
You're doing it and you're getting experience.
Yep. Yeah, I just said to him, detach yourself from the result and just go out there and do what I've told you to do.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep.
Whatever the result is after that is the result. And that's it.
And I've had fighters in the past, so I want to say to you, Dom, like, yes, Steve took a dive yesterday, but he took a dive because you hurt him. Like I've had fights go, because it happened in Thailand once with one of my guys. He's like, well, I didn't really stop him. I'm like, man, you kicked him till he didn't want to be there anymore.
Yeah.
He took a dive.
Yeah.
But he fought another foreigner. He fought a French guy.
Yeah.
The dude was all right, but my guy hurt his knee from just like kicking him in the side of the knee, like over and over and over again, right? And he's like, oh, but I thought I like stopped him with leg. No, he took a dive.
Yeah.
But because you hurt him.
Yeah.
Like people don't take dives because if unless there hasn't been a shot thrown yet.
Yeah.
Like they're taking a dive because you've done the work to damage them. So don't think because he took a dive that you weren't good enough.
Yeah.
You were good enough, and it's the reason why he took a dive.
Yeah, that came up yesterday. Like people were saying, "Oh, did the elbows even hit him?" And I was like, "It doesn't matter because he was bashing his legs up. You know, he was keeping the pressure on him. He was
and he said, like, I took a dive because my legs were hurting.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
There you go.
yeah,
Done.
yeah, and you know, obviously, he still made the end of the round.
Yep.
Like the fight could have gone on.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to have him laying down anymore, and the acting was bad enough as it was. So,
yeah.
Got anything else you want to plug, or you don't know dates for next year yet, do you?
Nah, the first one will probably be in March sometime.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll probably get another 3 shows on next year.
Cool.
I was aiming for 4, but obviously we're gonna have a baby in February. So,
Yeah. What's the due date?
February 15th.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I was gonna put a show on January, but even this show leading up to this show, because our wedding planning has started now too.
Yep.
So leading this show, I was working full time, running the gym, prepping the boys, planning the wedding, planning for the baby.
Yep.
And the show.
Are you looking at any time going full time in the gym? Like, as in?
Yeah. So Alyssa gets about a year of maternity leave.
Yep.
And when she comes back, because her wage, like if you compare our wages, like jobs without my businesses, her wage is worth a lot more than mine.
Yep.
And it can go on to earning a lot more than mine. So, you know, and I'm out of the two of us, I can make money outside of work.
Yep.
Through business, through promoting and the gym. So, yeah, I think when she goes back from maternity leave, I'll probably take a fair bit of a, if not a full step back from work, or just at least a fair bit of a step back. Spend more time with the kid, and because we don't want to just stick the kid in daycare and
fuck that, man. I had the chat with the missus this morning about. There's one story about a childcare on fucking Henley Beach Road where someone didn't shut the door properly, and one of the kids ended up on the other side of Henley Beach Road. This is someone else's kid, you know.
Jesus.
Then there was another story of 2 parents had broken up. One thought the other one was picking up the kid. The other one thought the other one was picking up the kid. Somehow they didn't sign in the morning. They rock up in the morning. This kid had been there overnight all by themselves.
Fuck.
Yeah, man. Like the childcare system is fucked, and it's not there for any other reason but to make sure that kids are fucked. Like it helps no one by using childcare.
Yeah.
Like we can both work now and make more money. Cool story, bro. Your kid's more important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had that, like, me and Alyssa agree on fucking, like, pretty much everything.
Yep.
Really.
And if she doesn't, then no, you're getting slapped.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But yeah, one of the things we both agreed on is that we want to spend more time at home.
Yep.
Because even with her job, the role that she's in, she can eventually move into the private sector.
Yep.
And then she can work like 3 days a week.
Sick.
And earn really good money.
Good.
And so I'll be at home a lot. She'll be at home a lot. So yeah.
Man, I had Antoine rolling around while I was doing PTs for years, bro. Like, even now, like, you know, the kids, if they're sick, I'm still gonna go do PT. They come to the gym, man.
Yeah.
They just fucking lay down, like fucking set up a bed on the fucking in the ring for them. And are you looking at different places, like to move the gym, or you?
Nah, I don't think so. I think a lot of people, because sometimes our gym gets really busy.
Yep.
But then it goes through
Same.
quiet periods.
I have one night where I've got 30 people in there, and then I've got a night where I've got 8 people in there. And I'm like, imagine if I had a fucking something double the size, which is what I was looking for.
Yep.
And 8 people rock up.
Yeah. And when it's really busy, everyone goes, oh, you're going to need a bigger gym. And I'm like, until it's like this all the fucking time.
Yep.
And, you know, we're bursting at the seams.
Yep.
No, I have no.
Yep.
We have a really good, that space is good. The location's good. Our landlord is awesome.
Okay, cool. Mine's not.
Yeah.
Mine's cockhead. And I found a place, but I've heard the landlord was worse than mine.
Ah, okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I've got a really, really good relationship with our landlord, Matt.
Cool.
He's awesome. So
Cups the balls and does all the good stuff.
So there's no plans to move the gym.
Because that was... Did I put you onto that place?
No, Zach did.
Zach did.
Zach Davis
That's
did.
right. Because Zach mentioned it to me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's right. I told Zach to mention it to you. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Gawler, where we are, is like, it's big. Like, there's fucking heaps of people that live there.
Yeah.
But it's still very country town.
It is very much so. Yeah, very much.
As in, like, everyone plays community sports.
Yes.
So we don't have a massive influx of, like, just young dudes.
No.
Like, Adelaide Muay Thai came up for sparring a few weeks ago. Brought like 20, like fucking 10, 11 dudes, and they're all like 20 years old. And I'm like, fuck.
That's the burbs, bro.
Yeah,
that's
right.
the burbs. Yeah.
But like, I think looking back, like we were talking earlier about where I came from as well. Like Kev's little fucking dusty shed. I think yesterday was a day where I watched my guys fight, and I'm like, fuck. You know, considering we're a little tiny, like we're a pretty small gym in the country, and considering where I came from, and I didn't come from a big championship lineage gym and all that, like to go out and have our guys sort of perform like that, I was like, all right, we're we're getting there, we're on the right track.
Yep, it's good to see Traj there yesterday.
Traj,
yeah. Like he wouldn't do it again, wouldn't do the promotion thing again.
He's half thinking about it.
Because it'd be sick. Because the thing is, we'd all work for him now, you know. We'd all work with him and help him and help build it, you know. Like, and it, you know, he put on some good events, bro.
He did.
Yeah, for a long time, like two stints of it, and
that's where I got my start as as a fighter. I fought there.
Fighter, and then you got your promoter legs in as well, doing matchmaking and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. That's that'd be cool, man. Like,
well, he always wanted to hit number 8.
Yep.
You know, 8 for 8 weapons.
So
he always wanted to hit number 8.
Yeah.
So me and him have talked about it, but for now he's just like he said, he's living vicariously through me a bit at the moment. And just
man, when the time comes, you know, when you want to put on a pro show, maybe that's where you team up a little bit, you know, and you know, have the Valley Blitz as the pro card, or something, you know, like, you know, something, you know what I mean? There's always options and shit there.
That's right. Yeah.
Sick. Anything else?
I think that's about it, eh?
Time for a circle jerk.
Yeah.
Quick bat off before you head off. But sweet. So I don't know what episode we're up to, 16, maybe 17 or something now.
Something like that.
Can't believe I got that far. I sometimes battle to, like, I lose track of days, and I always forget, like, a week's only 7 days. And all of a sudden it's like, shit, time again.
Yeah.
Paddy hit me up, reminded me, and got me all booked in to make sure it was ready to go. So now I've got days to edit it and shit. Normally I'm like editing a day before, like the night before, and it's like, fuck, it's 11 o'clock at night and I'm still trying to edit, get it up ready. But thanks for coming down, man, and appreciate you, and thanks for doing these wicked amateur shows, and obviously in the early days let me have an input and listening to what my views on Muay Thai and stuff. I appreciate that a lot, man. You're one of the guys that I talk about in South Australia that, you know, are on the right page, that are doing the right things, and proud of you, man.
Thanks, man.
Sweet. Thanks for coming on.
Sweet.
Legend, bro. Love you, man.
Love you.
Cheers.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. As I said, very good friend of mine. Said it in the intro. Very good friend of mine, Paddy Browne. Lots of things to take away from that. But yeah, our amateur guy, you know, we're talking about amateur shows and amateur guys and what amateur guys do. And hope you enjoyed it. Please, as I said in the intro, once again, like, subscribe, all that stuff, comment. Let me know what you want me to talk about on my solo episodes. But yeah, thank you very much for, if you got to this point, appreciate it very much. And next one will be out next Thursday. Thank you very much, guys. Cop and carb.